They know that I don't want any pity. They never say, "Oh, Mom, you're not walking well today." She sang with them, danced with them, made millions laugh with them. But some of Hollywood's biggest names secretly hated Annette Funicello. One famous actor called her Disney's pet and refused to speak to her off camera. Another whispered lies to producers. Some formed secret alliances against her for years. Annette stayed silent. She protected their identity even as they tried to ruin her. But before she died, she finally revealed the truth. And it shocked even Walt Disney. Annette Funicello was born on October 22, 1942, in Utica, New York. Her parents, Virginia John Albano and Joseph Edward Funicello, were proud Italian Americans, raising their daughter in a tight-knit, working-class neighborhood. In that part of Utica, family meant everything. The smell of garlic and fresh bread drifted through the streets. Italian was spoken almost as often as English. Life was simple, but full of pride and warmth. That strong sense of community became a part of Annette, shaping her personality before she ever set foot on a stage. At the age of 4, her parents packed up and moved west, landing in California's San Fernando Valley. They weren't chasing Hollywood fame. They just wanted a better life. But the move turned out to be the start of something much bigger. Annette was painfully shy, barely able to speak up in public. So, her mother signed her up for dance classes, hoping she'd build some confidence. What they didn't expect was how quickly Annette took to the stage. Her quiet nature melted away under the spotlight. The dance lessons lit a spark that neither she nor her parents saw coming. In December 1955, that spark turned into a flame. At just 13 years old, she performed Swan Lake at the Starlight Bowl in Burbank. It was just another recital until it wasn't. Unbeknownst to anyone in the crowd, Walt Disney himself was sitting there quietly watching. He wasn't looking for ballerinas. He was hunting for kids with star power. And when he saw Annette glide across that stage, he saw something rare. Grace, charisma, and something he couldn't quite explain. Within days, she got a phone call that changed her life forever. Disney wanted her on his brand new TV show, The Mickey Mouse Club. The auditions were brutal. Over 200 kids showed up, each hoping to be one of the 24 Musketeers. Annette wasn't first in line. She wasn't even second or third. She was the final one selected. Number 24. But Disney had a feeling about her. He saw something the others didn't. She wasn't just talented. She was real. Audiences would connect with her, and he knew it. He gave her a shot, and she didn't disappoint. By the time she signed her 7-year contract, she was earning $160 a week. That was already more than some adults made in a month. But the contract had a kicker. If she did well, her pay would rise fast. Soon, she was making $500 a week. Add in merchandising, royalties, reruns, and public appearances. And by the time she was done, Annette Funicello was a millionaire at just 20 years old. What really stunned the Disney studio, though, was what happened next. Fan mail. Not just a few letters here and there, thousands. By the end of the first season, she was getting 6,000 to 8,000 letters every month. No one saw it coming. None of the other Musketeers were even close. In fact, only Elizabeth Taylor got more letters at the time, and she was already a major movie star. One day, Walt Disney called Annette into his office. He looked confused. He asked, "Do you have lots of Italian relatives?" She said, "No, because the amount of mail for you is incredible," he said. He couldn't believe it. Her charm had reached far beyond her roots. America, young boys in particular, had fallen for her. Some even sent her watches and rings, basically proposing through the mail, and she sent every single one back. That wholesome, kind-hearted image wasn't an act. She wasn't just appearing in dance numbers anymore. Soon, she was leading entire shows. In 1956, she starred in Adventure in Dareland, filmed on a real farm in Verona, Wisconsin. It was part story, part education. Viewers saw her interact with cows, farmers, and rural life. A Far cry from Hollywood glitz, but people loved it. Then came Spin and Marty, where she played a sweet, down-to-earth ranch girl. These roles made her a household name, and they weren't just TV hits. They led to comics, books, and reruns that lasted decades. But even the happiest chapters come to an end. In 1958, the Mickey Mouse Club aired its final episode. On set, the cast hugged, said their goodbyes, and cried. Annette cried the hardest. She later said, "I never cried so hard in my life." Most of the Musketeers were let go, but not Annette. Disney invited her to his office again. She feared she was getting fired. Instead, he handed her a new contract, this time for her own cereal. She wasn't being let go. She was being elevated. Behind the scenes, there was a different kind of story, a teenage love story. During that first year of the show, Annette quietly dated fellow Musketeer Lonnie Burr. At one party, he gave her a ring, and they decided to go steady at least for a few hours. Her father wasn't thrilled. He made her return the ring immediately. Still, the two shared one special moment. Lonnie gave Annette her very first kiss. He didn't even know that fact until 1994 when her autobiography revealed it. Decades later, they reunited for a TV movie called Lots of Luck. It was the only time two original Musketeers acted together as adults. It was a sweet, full-circle moment, showing that even in the cutthroat world of Hollywood, some childhood memories last forever. In 1959, something unexpected happened. A bubbly teenage girl named Annette Funicello released a song that was only 1 minute and 38 seconds long, but it made music history. The song was called Tall Paul, and it didn't just become a hit. It became a national sensation. It climbed all the way to number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 6 in Canada. That made Annette the first female singer ever to break into the top 10 with a rock and roll single. The song was written by the Sherman Brothers and Bob Roberts. That same success led to a major break. Dick Clark invited her on his famous Caravan of Stars tour. She hit the road from September to November 1959, sharing the stage with Paul Anka, Dwayne, Eddie, the Coasters, and others. On October 21st in Houston, the tour even stopped mid-show to celebrate her birthday on stage. It wasn't all smooth sailing, though. Some nights the crowd got rowdy. Fights broke out.